Portugal.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, GuMPers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, a live stream and podcast. There you are. How are you this morning? What a fantastic meme that is. Excuse me for a moment, Darren. Let me just take your comment off the screen. Look at you, a Porto, not just a Porto or Porto, but a Porto. Very good, Darren. And of course, on the whole matter of learning Portuguese and about Portuguese culture, two things to share with you this morning. And yeah, I mean, let's keep all of that chat going. And any realizations or anything you want to share about speaking the lingo and enjoying life here in Portugal, you can share that with me in the chat or on 913-590-303. Nice picture from you, Global Nobles. Greg this morning. May I show it on the screen? I just want to make sure it's okay to share that. But yeah, a couple of things. I will be sending out the first assignment of our new beta testing 28-day Portuguese Language and Culture Foundation course. That's going out in a moment. I'm going to press the button. And thank you so much to those of you who decided to be guinea pigs for that. A simple task to do each day, reflecting on it, the baby steps, just to grow in confidence and learn a little bit more each day over 28 days. And I suspect by day 29, we'll be ready for a huge rest. No, I suspect on day 29, you'll be wanting to sign up for more and we'll get some more intensive help from a Portuguese native speaker tutor. But the first foundation course is a bit of fun, led by me, backed up with some resources over at the Portugal Club on our school platform, and just a simple thing to do each day, because we know we should, but that doesn't mean we will or we would, just because we should. And it's a way of being involved in a group, having a bit of fun, getting a bit friendly with each other and the culture and the language, and growing in confidence day by day with a little baby step. Should just take a few minutes each day. And if you want to do more, you can, which is wonderful. Oh, Greg, thank you very much for a sure there on the picture. I've got a picture and a video of the day dawning here in Portugal. Lovely video from, if you watched till the end yesterday, you'll have seen Anna's video. I think it's worth playing again to start the show this morning. And there's a beautiful picture from Greg, which I'll bring to the screen now and share with you. And to let you know that today, yeah, the Portugeeza, it's always a bit naughty, very, very naughty with the Portugeeza, Tony Bryant, with him and his views on life here in Portugal. Today, bidets, potholes, and digital keys. Not necessarily connected, although I suppose a pothole could be an improvised bidet. We'll find out what he's been saying about these things. You can watch his videos on all of those subjects over at the Portugeeza on YouTube. That's Portugeeza, G-E-E-Z-A, if you're American. Portugeeza, G-E-E with a Z-A, if you're from the UK, or don't say Z. And his videos are hilarious. I'm not up to date with all of those, so it's great to be able to chat with him about them and see what's been grinding his gears this month since we last saw him. And things do grind his gears, and he's not afraid to say so. So we'll be talking to him, and you can quiz him about any of those subjects or anything else that he talks about on his YouTube channel. He's also been quite grumpy about our Go Motoring Portugal feature of what you should carry in your glove box. And I think he'll be putting the record straight on that. Here's that picture then. You know where that is, don't you? Were you out and about walking this morning, Greg, with a Starbucks possibly, early this morning? It's great, actually, because look, yesterday, Tom sent us this picture from the aeroplane above the bridge. And this morning, Greg has sent us this picture of the Tejo, the Tagus, and that's the Belém end of the river, isn't it? Right there. So superb views of the river this morning. And Tom will be joining us. I'm going to give Tom a call around 9 o'clock. He very kindly made the pilgrimage all the way to the San Martino de Porto meetup yesterday. So thank you so much, Tom, for flying all the way from Ohio to Portugal and then getting on a train and coming to see us in San Martino de Porto. Really appreciate your efforts. And thank you so much for the lovely present you gave me. Some serious Portuguese language application. Philomena, that was the other thing I was going to tell you about this morning. Tomorrow morning, Tia Philomena joins us, and she is going to be talking to us more as we get involved in. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? It's on the screen. I'm going to send out that first assignment to everybody who's involved in the 28-day foundation course. I'm pushing the button now. If you're involved in that, you should be receiving it. Let me know if you've got that. Yeah, Philomena and I were in touch late last night, talking about what's going to be happening tomorrow. Oh, and she sent me the most wonderful pictures, a picture of her before the revolution and a picture of her shortly after the revolution. Do you know what? I might show you the picture of her before the revolution in just a moment. It's absolutely fabulous. And hola, Colitos! What are we speaking about on Friday? The 50th anniversary of the revolution? I think we should. And we're getting excited about that. It's just 2 weeks away from today, isn't it? The Carnation Revolution celebrations of the 25th of April, 2024. And Philomena, you get the questions in now or anytime between now and tomorrow morning for a bit of Philomena Friday.
Philomena Friday. I need to learn the language to put me at ease. Philomena Friday. It's gonna take time learning Portuguese. Philomena Friday. I get confused nearly every day. Philomena Friday. How do I know which verb is okay? Philomena Friday. Practice those words so loud and clear. Philomena Friday. On a Philomena Friday, it's a day of cheer.
On a Philomena Friday. A Philomena Friday. It's a day of cheer.
At gmail.com.
Oh, yeah. tripsforbrits@gmail.com. And we're hoping to hear this tomorrow.
Muito bem.
Muito bem, everybody. And look at this. This is Philomena. Look at her there before the Carnation Revolution. Nice handbag. And what a fabulous dress that is, Philomena. Absolutely fantastic photo. And we'll show you the picture of her shortly after the Carnation Revolution tomorrow. So talking about that, and she also wants to talk about, because somebody asked her to explain the difference between isto, esta, and est. I want to know how to use isso as well. So when I'm in a cake shop and I'm pointing, and I don't think Portuguese people like pointing very much. I mean, sometimes you've got to, haven't you? But I think that's a general thing, isn't it? In some cultures, not to point because it's rude. Pointing at people, I suppose, is the rudest thing, isn't it? And then laughing. Let's not do that. But when I'm in a cake shop and I want to say, one of these, uma de cada is my favorite, but taking one of everything can be expensive and a very contributory cause to diabetes as well. So that one, could I have that one, please? We'll learn how to say that tomorrow. That's very useful, isn't it, in the shop? Can I have that one? Faz favor. Okay, so Philomena Friday, tomorrow. Back to today then. We're calling Tom Smith from Ohio. We're going to call him on the phone and have a chat with him about his just landed first impressions of being here in Portugal. It's a major trip that he's on, a bit of scouting, and he's doing so much. He hit the ground running. And he was saying yesterday when we were having lunch, if he was going to make a clickbait title for his early thoughts about being in Lisbon and being in Portugal, Portugal broke me was going to be the title. I think he's done so much and he's tired himself out. And what an intrepid traveller he is as well. So talking to him at 9 and then at 9:30 at the very latest, maybe a bit earlier, talking to Tony Bryant, the Portugeezer as well. A leisurely chat this morning. I don't know about you, but I need a little bit of a change of pace this morning. So we've got a very busy couple of days coming up and we've had a few busy days before now. This just feels like a little bit of an oasis of calm between then and what's coming, between the past and the future. And I'm very inspired and calmed by James's contribution from yesterday, which we've carried over here. J.R.R. Tolkien, it is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life. Yes. And it's an even better thing to actually enjoy one as well, isn't it? A simple life. If only, so many people come to Portugal, do they not, to retire, thinking they're going to have a simple and easy life. And not in a bad way, it becomes very busy. And they're doing so many wonderful things. It's not quite what they imagine. We've got people dressing up as Templar Knights, for example, And not everyone in that picture is retired, of course, but yeah, crazy stuff like that happens. And we go riding around on tuk-tuks. Not that these two are retired either, but life seems to have got busier since I moved to Portugal, that's for sure. And that wasn't I'm not complaining. That wasn't the plan, though. That wasn't the plan originally. I was going to come and live in a field somewhere close to Barak, who I also met at the meetup yesterday. Great to meet you in person, Barak, who lives over in very near to where I first arrived in Portugal. And lovely to meet you and shake your hand and give you your GuMPer mug yesterday, Barak. Do come back and bring Mrs. Z with you as well another time when you visit. So I think that was a recce, wasn't it, to see if you want to hang out with the GuMPers at the meetup. And I think you quite liked what you saw. I suspect you had a good time there. I think you said so, didn't you, in our correspondence? It was great meeting you. The other missive from James this morning, no doubt to go along with some mindful migration memery and thoughts in the chat when I'll return to that in just a moment. I finally watched the documentary on clocks. This is Vince the Sign Guy via James this morning. I finally watched the documentary on clocks. It's a dad joke. It was about time. Yeah, wrong jingle, but I don't mind that so much. There you go. Dial up, memories coming back. Isn't it amazing how a sound can trigger memories like that? And the life was simpler then, wasn't it, when we connected to the internet with those sorts of sounds on modems and used cassettes to run programs. Although I must say I do prefer how it is now. Come on, I haven't got all day. Chop, busy. Oh, I must be mindful. I must be mindful of how aggravated and agitated I am about being impatient. Perfect. Talking of which, then, let's go back to the chat this morning. Bom dia, GuMPers, from James. Feliz quinta a todos. Como tem passado? And are they doing a little dance again in the chat this morning? James and the coach with their comments intertwined. Get a chat room, you two. A mindful moment. Mindfulness clears the windshield of the mind so that we can see things as they really are. Now, you'll have seen that meme, won't you, where there are loads of insects on the screen in the left-hand pane of the meme, somebody driving in the 70s, and there's bugs all over the windscreen. And now, in 2024, there's barely a bug on there. Although, I've got to say, when Colin and I borrowed that Toyota recently, the CHR, or is it CRH? That's the problem when you don't have a name like Escort or Cortina. You have letters for a name. That's such a mistake, I think. I love the car. And it had a panel on the front of it. It had like almost a flat panel that was at 90 degrees to the road. And that was a pretty good bug catcher. And we've definitely got a few bugs driving around with Colin. Bugs in the sense of the insects, not bugs as in software on the car, but bugs were certainly getting splattered on the front of that car when we were driving around. And that metaphor can be used here. Mindfulness clears the bugs and insects of the mind, if you're lucky. So wiping of your windscreen or your windshield so that you can see things as they really are. And that's from Travis Elliott. Who he? A mindful dad joke. My body is a temple and therefore I'm a church and exempt from paying taxes. Try telling that to the IRS. Thank you, James. Bom dia a todos, vocês pessoas adoráveis. Look at you, Coach Turner, excelling yourself there. You see, Coach Turner's been taking Portuguese baby steps for a while now and growing in confidence, I would say. Coffee beckons, then a little light packing and training this afternoon, last session before our trip, so need to make it count. Oh, preparation for the big Portugal trip. See you soon, Coach T. God's tip of the day. Someone asked me the other day, what's the best time? He's on his way to Portugal. Someone asked me the other day, what is the best time to exercise? What day the best time to exercise was? There are a couple of interesting studies on this. Yes, best time to exercise. There are a couple of interesting studies on this, but for what we are trying to achieve, I don't believe it matters. It's more important it's more important that it fits in. Okay, yeah, so make sure we do it at all rather than worrying too much about when we do it. It's more important that it fits into your life so that it's part of a routine. Yeah, most top athletes train in the morning, but that's mostly for the convenience of their coach. Is that right? So just find out what works best for you and make it a habit. Even better if it has a reward at the end of it, like a coffee or a beer. Okay, that's your secret is safe. I've been drinking more beer than normal just recently. It's like it's doing all this manual work at the end of working. Instead of shining my bottom on a chair, which has been my habit over the last few months and years, I've been doing more manual physical work, and it's lovely to have a beer at the end of the day. After that, Bon dia, Alegria, GuMPers from T Duck, and I think I might be being turned here. We have a guest at the moment who I assumed preferred Superbock to Sagres. So I've been buying Superbock. And I don't know, I might be, I don't mind mixing it up actually. I don't mind both, but I've certainly been drinking more of the Superbock. And I'm wondering if I'm being slowly turned into a Superbock drinker, especially after that wonderful Peace Edition pack of beers that they do, where you can learn Portuguese by reading the labels, as I shared with you. Was that Tuesday? I think it was probably Tuesday, wasn't it? Bon dia then from the Global Nobles. Good morning to you both. And yes, I will. There's so much going on. Really, I haven't had a chance to properly look at the itinerary for Braga. We'll confirm that. I'm pretty sure we're going, but there's so much going on. I just need to make sure that we are going. And I'd like to know who might be interested in joining us in Braga as well. And that will be a month from today. That will be the 11th and 12th of May up there in Braga. Who's interested in that weekend? Me and Bobby are, and Andy as well. Great to see you yesterday, Andy, at the meetup. The meetup was fantastic yesterday. Some new people. Michael and Melissa came back. Some faces I didn't recognize. Tom, of course, popped over. Andy. Barack was there as well, and a few of the good ones. Some of our favorite people who've been coming forever to the meetup were there as well. It was really buzzing. The atmosphere was incredible, really kind of quite noisy and giddy in the springtime sunshine on the deck there at Nelson's. Good to see you, Nelson. Thank you to you and Margarita for looking after us. Oh dear, hold on, I need to have a little sip of tea here. What a good moment then for me to play for you the video that Anna, the Swede in Portugal, sent to us yesterday. We'll have a little cough and drink a little bit more tea. This is absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, Anna, for this.
So, it's good morning from Évora, where I arrived yesterday. It's a super nice, crisp morning. I'm sure this will be a wonderful day. The sun is on its way up. All you can hear is the birds and a bit of traffic. And later on today I will visit the cathedral. The view from my hotel and my room. Not a bad view, eh? So enjoy your day. Ciao, ciao.
Oh, you're back. That's so lovely, Anna. There. Did I say Visio before? Évora, of course. That's Anna over in Évora, having a little break there, up from the Algarve and in Évora. You need probably to, if you don't mind, tell us the name of that hotel. What a fantastic location and what a beautiful start to the day. Thank you, Greg, for your shot of the Tagus this morning at the Belém end of things. And thank you, Anna, for that beautiful video there from Évora. Bon dia, Portugal, from João de Norte. Have we still got that here? I think we have got that, haven't we? Got Michael for sure. And I think we've got João de Norte doing that. Here he is.
Bom dia, Portugal!
Love that. Thanks, John. Good morning to you. And greetings, Paul, from Jack Polly. What's that? Are you just talking to Paul in the chat and not everyone else, Jack Polly? Good morning to you. Idioms explained then from João de Norte, who issued the Bon dia Portugal right there, echoing across the valley. Idioms explain one of two. In the 1500s, baths consisted of a big tub of hot water. The man of the house had the clean water. No peeing, please. Then the sons, the wife, the daughters, then the young children. And the second part of this message, last of all, the babies. By then, the water was so dirty, you could actually lose someone in it. Hence the saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yuck! That's early inoculation vaccination for children, isn't it? Bathing in the germs and dirt of the rest of the family and picking up a little bit of like herd immunity from the whole herd has been in that water there. That's great. Thank you. Loving these, John. The idioms explained. We didn't have pots to pee in earlier this week, and now we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's great. Thank you very much. Good morning, people. I suspect that's coming from Lee. That's what he says. That's his catchphrase, isn't it? All right, Carl. Good morning, people from Lee. Yeah, man cave, Manchester. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Nearly. Jack, if you need any help, you know where we are. And always liked Paisley. Yes, I think referring to the beautiful picture of Philomena. We'll see the picture of her after the Carnation Revolution. But look, there she is in a beautiful Paisley dress there. And those sandals, the white socks are such a good look, isn't it, on a young lady there? The white socks, and are they? They're not quite a T-bar sandal there, are they? But she's got a posh patent leather shoes on and a lovely handbag, contrasting handbag. I note there, very nice style and fashion tip there. Follow her on Instagram for fashion tips and insight into the Portuguese language and culture. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Philomena. Yes, loves a bit of Paisley. Greetings from a hot Algarve. Oh, give over, Paul, with you and your hot Algarve. Greetings from hot Algarve. Then 28 degrees today. Can I borrow your tutu, Carl? That's gone back in. You'll have to talk to the wardrobe master or wardrobe mistress, who is known as Colin. They're probably in the back of his car, which will take some explaining. Stop by the GNR. May I see your high-vis vest, please? Yeah, I've also got a nice bright green and bright red tutu. Is that okay, officer? No, you're under arrest. You're under a vest. You've got to point at the bakery because nothing has a name label. Yes, that's true. Or you get to know the names, Darren. What's your favorite bolo? Do you like a bolo first thing in the morning? Greetings, Paul from Jack. I see. She spotted Paul there, who we spoke to, of course, about his in-ear translator. How's that going, Paul? Do let us know. Is it warm in the Algarve this morning? Jack, have a great night on Friday. Oh, what's going on there then? And bon dia, Jack. Bon dia from, Jack Polly. James Holly to Jack Polly there. Bon dia from Sarah. How you doing, Sarah? Still haven't found out what it was like when they closed off the road by the river there. Was that good fun? And, leaving party. Oh, my goodness, it's getting real, Jack Polly. Friday night, super excited. How wonderful. We'll have a little bit of a welcome party for you as well when you get here. Bon dia from Sarah Taylor. Good morning to you, Sarah and Dan. Lots of love to you. And I think Mrs. Donort and I could join you on Braga on the 11th. Okay, the plan is coming together there. Very good. And the Naunu. Yesterday I had an itch. Hold on a minute. Let me just read this first before I read it, all of it out. It's like a Pete Bleach comment, this. I had an itch at the bottom. No, I had an itch at the bottom of my right foot, which usually means one would travel soon. Hopefully I'll come to Portugal. What if it's the left foot? The Naunu. Just popping over to Facebook quickly. I want to say happy birthday, parabéns a você. Now we're going to learn how to sing that as well, because that's going to be great for our Portuguese language, isn't it, and culture, to know that off by heart. And we know the tune, of course, because we've been singing it all our lives, and we're going to learn the Portuguese words for that. And we're going to impress Portuguese friends when we know the words and sing it at a birthday party. Ron Rogers, parabéns a você, avut, who came a long time ago to the show with Mama Bear McGowan, 70 today. Happy birthday to you. And Phil, I saw you, Phil, yesterday at the meetup, and you gave me a lovely big box of Yorkshire tea leaves. Thank you so much to you and Maria. It's your birthday today, Phil Ruff. If anyone wants to send Phil a message, if you know Phil, why not send Big Phil a message? Heard it was your birthday on the GMP, Phil. Many happy returns, or parabéns a você. Maybe sing that into the phone. Parabéns a você. Something, querida. Yesterday, then, the Nanu had an itch on the bottom of the right foot, which means traveling. What does an itch on the bottom of the left foot mean? Hola, bon dia, GuMPers. Another beautiful day here in Miranda de Curva. What were you listening to? Thanks for that picture yesterday, Michael, of you listening to the house music's where it's at. What about Reese and Santonio and the sound? Was that on your playlist? Let us know what you're listening to there. Other house aficionados might like to know, Michael. Great shot of you. We might be interested in going to Braga. We plan to go visit our friends in the north in May. So there we go. The plan really is coming together. Barack, hola, bon dia from Travança to you, Carl, and to right back at you from San Martinho de Porto, Barack. And your two lovely horses on the screen there. Great talking to you about equestrian life here in Portugal. Pete is here. Look, I bet the black bathwater is still cleaner than Thames water. Yeah. Another idiom explored and demystified here. In those days, a big pot was hung over the kitchen fire. Ah, happy times. They ate mostly vegetables and a little meat. And again, I suspect the pecking order was very similar to the Bath pecking order. Dad had first dibs on the meat, and then by the time it got to the baby, that would just be regurgitated remains and leftovers with fat in for the baby that mum had pre-chewed. And each day, again, picking up a little bit of immunity there, and each day added something to the pot, eating the stew for dinner until you were down to the stone in like a sopa de pedras. 2 of 2 then, the second part of this, the pot. Where's this going, I wonder? We're about to find out. With the leftovers in the pot to get cold overnight, sometimes the stew was there for a while, thus the rhyme. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. It's all right, I'll have a glass of water, thank you. 9-day-old peas porridge, anybody? No, you're okay. Talking of bath water, and that was the opening meme this morning, showering. I'm going to tell you a bit more about showering here in Portugal. Talking of bath, is anyone listening in the shower on one of those waterproof radios? Don't send a picture. Talking of bath water, we used to have a bath after playing rugby. You can imagine how muddy it became. We used to negotiate a shorter game with the ref and opposition. So we were in the bath first. Wow. Or buy you a beer at the bar afterwards, ref, if we can get in the bath first. Yes, so pretty mucky water. And I think things have changed, haven't they? I think rugby players probably don't all get in a massive homoerotic bath together anymore. They have showers, don't they? Hot showers instead. Those that sound like really old-fashioned black and white days, don't they? When everyone jumped into a massive, like almost like a swimming pool tub together. Doesn't everyone just shower now after a game? Not something that I would know about. I was busy at my Saturday job. I wasn't playing rugby. Let me know, Coach Turner, on that. And if I move your comment here, this is something that Vitor Costa posted up recently. Showering daily in Europe, the percentage of people that shower daily in Europe. And who gets the credit for this infographic here? Wikipedia and GeoMapper or GeoMapped. That's probably on Instagram if you want to look up similar things to this. Look at those Italians. They are very fresh. And so are the Portuguese, you might be glad to hear. Over 85% showering daily over there in Italy and here in Portugal. We're up in those top 2 percentages there. But look at this. They're still carrying on with the big bath, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, I think, in much of the rest of Europe, you smelly so-and-sos. Honestly, that's interesting information. I knew that about the French, obviously. That's a great infographic. Thanks, Vitor Costa. And he was using it as a selling point for moving to Portugal. The fact that most people shower every day here. And we're talking on that note, we're talking about the other bit of furniture in the bathroom, which I don't know. Has anyone made the the transition from or toward the bidet? We'll find out more about bidets because we've talked about bidets with Katia Lima, haven't we? Because she's written a wonderful guide to bidet use in her Beyond Lisbon blog. And we're going to get the Portugeeza angle on that this morning as well. But are you a bidet user, if you don't mind me asking, about such an intimate piece of porcelain? The intimate piece of porcelain that is the bidet here in Europe, on the continent, as we used to call it when in the UK. It's 9 o'clock. We need to ring Tom up. We'll come back to your lovely comments. Suffice to say for the time being, good morning to you, Jackie. Thank you for joining up at the Portugal Club yesterday. Nice one, Jackie. And I want to make sure, are you in the group? No, I've got to make sure you're in the group. That's terrible. You joined up yesterday and I haven't transferred you across. I'll make sure you get the info and you're in the group. We're up to a capacity, I think. I think 10 people is probably enough beta testers. But I'll make sure you're in there, Jackie. So thank you for joining us yesterday on that. Come back to more comments later. Yeah, Pinky's in as well. And Viv's here Wednesday and Saturday. And that's all I'm saying about showers. Oh, Viv, honestly. Okay, that's all you need to say, perhaps there, Viv. Right, let's give Tom a call, shall we? Now he's new. He's come over from Ohio. You'll know him from the chat here. You'll know him from the chat on Expats Portugal if you're in touch with the webinars. Or tonight, there's one actually with the ACP. We're talking about exchanging driver's licenses. And I'm sure other things will come up, given that we're talking to the ACP, the Automóvel de Portugal. We're talking to them this evening. And yeah, you'll see Tom on the chat over there on the Dream Team sessions. And he's here. He's here in the country. And we're going to give him a ring now if I can find him among everybody else here on WhatsApp. I can't see him. Where are you, Tom? Okay, I'm going to have to go in for a search here and hopefully call the right Tom. Here he is. Okay, we're going to give Tom a call, who I think probably is girding his loins for another day out in Lisbon this morning. So hopefully you can hear this. There we go. It's ringing. Can you hear that? Let me know if you can hear that. And we'll see if Tom's going to pick up for us as arranged when we saw him yesterday at the meetup. Come on, Tom. Not going terribly well so far, is it? I was listening to... Oh, here he is. Hola, bon dia.
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
In here.
You there?
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch the video.
Oh, you're going.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, I can see you. Not everybody else can see you, but we can hear you, which is the important thing. I can't put these images onto the screen here, but we can hear you loud and clear, I believe, or I can at least. So, how are you, Tom? Fantastic to see you yesterday. You arrived when?
Yeah, so far I'm doing very well. A little tired this morning. I had some fun in Lisbon last night.
Oh, really? Tell us when you arrived first of all, and then tell us what you've been up to. Oh, we got a bad connection with Tom here. That's a shame. There you go. Do you know what, Tom?
Yeah, even at 9:30 at night.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna turn my video off because I think that might be causing a problem here. So let me switch my video off and let's see if we can hear you loud and clear. When did you arrive?
I arrived Tuesday morning, about 10 o'clock Lisbon time. Getting to the airport was kind of surprisingly quick. It only took me about 20 minutes to complete all the formalities.
Nice.
So got to the airport, got my bags, went to my hotel to check in. Then after that, I went to the Colombo shopping center for lunch, which at noon on a Tuesday, I was shocked how crowded it was.
Yeah, all the kids get in there, don't they? The school kids are having lunch in there, as well as a lot of local people.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the local adults, like business people out having lunch.
Oh, right. Okay.
There were some kids.
Right.
But it was just a crowded mall, and went to a place and ordered some chicken with peri-peri, which actually turned out to be pretty good, which I was able to use some of my Portuguese.
Excellent.
I guess I'm up to survival level Portuguese.
Top man. And how was the chicken, Tom?
Actually, it was very good. It was definitely spicy. It had a kick to it, but it was very good.
Excellent. You hit the ground running then with a traditional bit of Portuguese grilled chicken. Sounds good. In the Colombo Mall. Yeah. So that's your first experience of a Portuguese shopping mall as well. Very busy, as you say, at lunchtime. It's quite a big place, isn't it? Colombo Mall.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one thing that I found, the food court, there was McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell.
Yes.
All of this from America.
Well, how lovely for you. Yeah, so familiar brands, surrounded by familiar brands right there.
Yeah. So afterwards, I figured I'd go, okay, let me go take a tour of Estádio da Luz, which is across the way. Mm. Little did I realize that way is a 6-lane expressway.
Okay,
now, I did...
6-lane expressway en route. So you've had your lunch, and you've just got off a plane. Yeah. You just got off a plane basically a few hours before, and now you're contemplating a 6-lane expressway to try and cross the road. How was that?
Yeah. Well, I did find a pedestrian bridge I could cross, but the problem is the pedestrian bridge put me on the side of another highway.
Oh dear.
So I wound up walking down to the next metro station, which by this point my back is saying, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
So I sat down on a bus bench, waited, and then caught the next bus, took that down to another station. That gave me a chance to break and explore on the explore the city buses. So then took the metro back up, and then took the stadium tour, then the museum tour, and now I'm done. And it's like 4:30, and my back is saying, "You sit down, you may not stand up again."
Yeah, but I think it's important to listen to the body on your first day of arriving in Portugal, because you've been sat on a plane, of course, hadn't you, for how many hours before that?
It was about a 7-hour flight.
7 hours. Your back probably didn't take too kindly to that either. So what did you take refuge in? Did you go back to your hotel and have a little bit of a siesta, a bit of a nap?
Yeah, I went back to my hotel, and also it was starting to get to be rush hour, so the metro was getting crowded. So I went back to my hotel, lay down in bed about 5 o'clock, and figured, I'll rest here for an hour ago or so. Next thing you know, it was 8 o'clock.
Yes. Not the next morning, though.
So
8 o'clock.
The American said, man, it's getting old. Yeah, 8 o'clock in the evening. So the American in me says, man, what's open? So I poke around and I end up finding, wait a minute, there's stores are open until midnight? Excuse me. Going over to the Vasco da Gama Mall, another shopping mall.
I love that
and
one.
This time I did something that I said I wouldn't really do, at least until later. I ate at McDonald's.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I've got the sound
effect. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. You just arrived from America and you're eating McDonald's already. Honestly, Tom. Why?
Well, I wanted to get a comparison to see if because they say that McDonald's in Europe are better than the ones in the United States.
Yeah.
This is true.
It's true. Okay. And what can I ask? Did you go for a classic hamburger or a Big Mac? What did you go for?
For I think they call it the Big Tasty.
The Big Tasty. Good. Okay.
Double.
Okay. But it was better in Europe than it is in the United States. God only knows what it's like in the United States.
Yeah, the meat has a lot better texture to it, and the potatoes had a more potato flavor.
With added potato flavor. That's fantastic in the fries there. So that box is ticked then. You've made sure that the McDonald's is better quality here in Europe. And that is the wonderful Vasco da Gama Mall. I think that is my favorite over there. And so what did you do after that? Did you have a little walk by the river, perhaps?
By that point, I said I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Got back to my hotel, went to bed, and then I came up to see you yesterday.
You sure did, and I'm so grateful.
That turned out to be that turned out to be another adventure. Because to go from Lisbon to San Martino to Porto via train, it's basically 3 trains.
3 trains? Just oh my goodness.
Well, the first place, it's a commuter train to Miracentra. Then another train up to Calixarena. Then another train the rest of the way to San Martino to Porto.
Wow.
So I get to the Miracentra change, and they're doing engineering works on the stretch between Miracentra and Leira. I didn't know this. They started Monday. And they had a railway replacement bus, which I didn't know about until after the bus left.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I Ubered it back to the Sete Rios bus station.
Yeah.
And took the Reed Express bus up.
Oh, wow. You are intrepid. Tom, the intrepid traveler from Ohio. Thank you so much for making such an effort there.
And after the meetup yesterday, to get back to Lisbon, I took the train up to Coimbra. And then the Alpha Pendular back down.
Wow. How was that? Did you enjoy the AP?
Yeah, that's why I can describe it as silky smooth.
Yeah, nice, isn't it? Great. On the fast train in the Alpha Pendular.
But I did manage to check out excuse me, another one of my items at the Coimbra station.
Yeah.
There was a little cafe there. And they had pastel de nata.
Yes.
So of course I had to buy 2.
Well done, mate. Well done. So that is an iconic location for enjoying a pastel de nata or two. Coimbra B, 2 stations, of course, at Coimbra. Coimbra A is in the town, isn't it? And Coimbra B is the one, the interchange, where you'd have swapped out for your Alpha Pendula there, and you managed to get a pastel de nata right there. And so you got a little bit of a look at Coimbra. Presumably you didn't walk into town from there. You just had a little bit of a look when you were changing trains.
Yeah, well, they're doing a lot of engineering work. They're doing a lot of construction there at Coimbra B, because I think they're building a busway.
Yes, they are.
The city.
Yes, that's right. That's all part of the connection out to central Portugal, isn't it? And Miranda de Corvo. Fantastic. Looking forward to using that when they finally unveil that. Excellent. So that was on your list then. A couple of pastel de natas using the Alpha Pendula.
Yes. The pastel de nata, they were, of course, very good.
Yeah.
I would describe it, being an American, my mom would make a custard pie.
Yes.
Or like some people call it a sugar cream pie.
Yes.
It was like that, but creamy.
Creamy goodness. Custard tart we could go with as well, couldn't we? Wow. And you're clearly packing things in, aren't you? You must have a long list of things that you want to complete. And even just after 2 days, you seem to have checked quite a few boxes. Yeah. What else is on your list whilst you're over here?
Well, today I'm going to go. There's a Bidets factory in the Chiado neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, when I told my wife I was going to Portugal, she's like, "You're going to leave me here in Ohio?" Well, I'm here for a conference in Albufeira over the weekend, and I'm just up here estimating and poking around. So when I told my wife I was going to Portugal, she said, "That's not nice. You're leaving me here." And then she called her mother-in-law to complain.
Oh,
dear. And my mother-in-law told me, my mother-in-law said, "Ooh, they have some nice wool there. Get some."
Okay, so you're going to make good by getting some nice Serra da Estrela wool, perhaps, then, to take home to calm the troubled waters of matrimonial harmony or disharmony in this case.
Yeah, I think I'll get a throw blanket.
Oh, okay, very good. So a peace offering for when you return there. I had a quick chat with Mrs. Smith on the phone yesterday. It was great. I think she was a bit surprised by that, but it was nice to talk to her. Well, have a great day today, Tom. How much longer are you here in Portugal?
I'm here until next Monday.
Wow. Okay, so a bit of a whistle stop and packing a lot in, and this is to confirm whether you're coming here or not, right?
This is me testing the waters.
Yeah. And how's it going so far?
So far, I like it. I will say there's a couple niggles. Dealing with the calçada.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you pronounce it. Those little tiles on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Because in addition to being a little slick, I haven't experienced them when they're wet, but they do look slick, but they're also not very level.
That's so true. Yes, be careful. Mrs. Emma's made that point to millions of people, I think, now, to be careful with the slippery and uneven calçadas. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. That's for sure.
Yeah, which is a pain in the neck with a roller bag.
Yes, that's true. But that's one of the iconic sounds of Lisbon is people's roller bags going over the calçada cobbles there.
Yeah, and one little niggle I guess you could track this up into. Things that always go wrong in some trips is that the metro entrance that's closest to the hotel I'm staying with, well, they just happen to be building it.
You're right there.
Excuse me.
You might have a little bit of an allergy going on there, Tom.
I don't know. I think it's just all this talking. But the entrance to the metro station that's closest to my hotel, which is only a 2-block walk, is closed for reconstruction.
Oh dear. Okay, well that should be sorted out by the time you get to move here.
Yeah, but it's another block to the next station entrance, so that's not a big problem.
Okay, well, good luck with that, and good luck with the whole trip. Boa sorte, It's so good to have you here. Thank you for coming to Portugal. Thank you for coming to see us yesterday. What's the best thing so far?
Yeah.
What's the best thing so far? When you're speaking to Mrs. Smith and talking about your day, what's the best thing you've done so far?
I would say, well, it's hard to tell because I still got a lot to. I feel like I haven't done that much yet.
You've done so much. I'm exhausted hearing about your schedule already. Straight off the plane and out to Colombo Mall, eating McDonald's, eating pastel de natas, coming over to San Martino de Porto. You've done an amazing amount already.
Yeah. I know what's the one thing I think this will help my wife with this decision is I found the people to be very friendly and helpful.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
To give you an example, when I was ordering the chicken, there was a place called Tino Frango Gaia.
Mm.
It was a sit-down restaurant inside a shopping mall, which surprised me that they would even have a sit-down restaurant in a shopping mall.
Yes, that's right. They did that.
It was still fairly crowded. But anyway, so I ordered, and looking at the menu, of course, in Portuguese, I guess you'd call it survival Portuguese, wasn't that up to speed yet. But I figured, okay, this place goes Tino Frango Gaia. Might as well order the half Tino Frango Gaia. Because I kind of know what frango is, chicken. And that looked like the house special, so I figured,
bless you, Santini.
the way coughing this morning. Yeah. Anyway, so Tino Frango. So I ordered maybe a single frango, por favor. And the waitress goes picante. And I'm thinking it's a crowded restaurant, so a bit noisy. So I go, just ask her to repeat. She goes, spicy. I tried doing this in Portuguese, please. No. Either she just picked up that I was an American just here because they're probably mispronouncing everything. And she was spicy. Going, yeah. And she delivered. And so they came and I ate it and conta por favor, and they brought the bill.
Well done. Well done, Tom. So you survived. You survived the. Some people, I think, sometimes Portuguese people think you're not going to survive the piri piri chicken. It's just going to be too spicy and deadly for the foreigner. But you clearly survived that. Well done. Enjoy the rest of your trip. And
I found that I always try to, when I walk into a place, I always try to at least start in Portuguese.
Well done. Well done.
You can see if we need to teach English later. That's a way to help with the language. So.
Yeah.
I will let you get back to the rest of your show.
Mate, it's been so good to hear from you, and I think we need to put you in that group if you're not already. We are beta testing. It's a bit messy at the moment, but we'll get there in the end.
Yeah,
and maybe we can.
I don't know if we can be.
Go on.
I don't know if I can commit to that though. Unfortunately.
Okay, well, fair enough. You've probably got enough going on. Enjoy the rest of your stay here. Thank you so much for being available to us and fitting us into your schedule this morning. Have a great time, Tom. And when you get back, of course, we'll see you on the screen, and you'll be joining us, I'm sure, here on Good Morning Portugal and at Expats Portugal. Enjoy your trip. I hope it's a good one.
Thank you.
Have a lot of fun, and take care, mate. Have fun here in Portugal.
Thank you.
All right, ciao. Have a good day. Hold on. No, we've already done that bit. Let's give him a nice round of applause. I think I need a bigger jingle pad here. There we go. That's Tom. Have a great day, Tom. What a legend. What an intrepid traveler. Live on WhatsApp there. He's from Ohio, and he's in Portugal at the moment and having a quick chat with us before he heads out for the day today. The Portugeeza, I think, is limbering up. He is being massaged behind the scenes in the green room, eating those blue M&Ms, and he'll be joining us in. Where are the blue M&Ms gone? He'll be joining us in just a moment. Let's have a quick look at the chat just to see who we need to welcome. Oh, I think we've got Rui Correa here. Are you going to Washington and you need a little bit of help? So we had the American here in Portugal telling us about his trip, and we've got a Portuguese man who's going to Washington who needs a little bit of guidance and coaching there, I think. Oh, Michael Barton was listening to Apple Music's 80s house music channel mix. Anything stand out on that? I'm intrigued to know. And Pete. So Pete, T-Duck, thank you all for keeping the chat going. Deagle's in. Look, bon dia, Carl and GuMPers from a dry 12-degree Belfast to be dry all day. Might be a shorts day today. And shorts as in the apparel, not the YouTube sensation. Do you like shorts or not? I don't know. I'll talk to Portugeeza about whether he makes any shorts or not. He likes a full length first thing in the morning and any other time of the day, I suspect. Oh, congratulations to T-Duck, Mrs. Duck, on 3 years in Portugal yesterday. And 33 years together, it was indeed. Oh, and this, talking of MAGA caps, need advice. This is Roy who is going. Let's have a look. Good morning. Any North Americans here? I'm a white suburban, not so enraged European. Not so enraged European. What does that mean? About to visit the USA, this time Washington, D.C. Sorry, the dog is trying to go. You can't do that. He's got his cone of shame on after his castration last week, and now he's trying to come through the door with his cone of shame on. He's a little bit lighter now. About to visit the USA, this time Washington, D.C., and maybe surrounding areas. Need advice. Where should I wear a red MAGA cap? Oh, dear. And drive a pickup truck or a Harley? I think he's resorting to some very brash stereotypes here, possibly. Or should I wear a rainbow badge, squatter home? Oh, a bit of American politics comedy here. Feel confused about my gender and do bad maths. Is that what you should expect in America? Rui Correa over there. Pinky's here. Good morning to you. Carrying on the conversation about McDonald's. All of these things we can pick up and run with the Portugeeza in just a moment. And PT Country Bear Marcus, good morning to you. Bon dia. From the Canary Islands, the local Spanish folks look confused every time I say obrigado. Yes. They would, of course. And Viv and Sarah will come back to all your comments a little bit later on, because now we need to welcome the Portugeeza. Naughty, naughty. Oh, take it away, Maestro.
Yeah.
Go on, have you got a tune for us?
I'm playing a bit of Brucey at the moment. Hang on a second.
Bruce Forsyth or Bruce Springsteen?
Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, here we go.
Well, the sun's come out now, so I probably won't play as much guitar. But during the rainy days, I like to.
You only play guitar when it's raining. What do you mean?
Yeah, you know what do they call it? The what's it? I've forgotten the fado. You know, I'm getting.
Okay, yeah, the fado. Yeah, you're not a fair weather player. Okay, fair enough.
I'm not fair weather player. I ride motorcycles when the weather's fair.
And what Bruce Springsteen track were you playing now? I know Deagle's a big Bruce fan.
Well, it's been interesting because I'm an 80s kid. I'm an 80s kid. So the generation after you, Carl. No, I'm just joking. I know you're an 80s kid, mate. I know you're an 80s kid. But I've been finding it quite amusing because I quite like Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. But then I've been looking at some of his songs and the lyrics are kind of dodgy by today's standards.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? That one, that's terrible, isn't it?
That's the one. It's like, and he does this kind of, it's like, hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Kind of almost Elvis, like, you know?
Yeah.
Did he go and leave you all alone? Then there's this bit. I got a bad desire.
I'm on fire.
You know what I mean? Yes. And then there's the other one, which is
it's fair enough. When you're a teenager, that's exactly what you might be saying, right? Ringing up, you know, is your dad, are your mum and dad there? Can I pop round? That's what you'd expect from a teenager, but not from an 80-year-old rocker, right?
There's something about in a lot of pop songs, they seem to be they're almost referring to the boyfriends as daddy, which is I know it's a thing, but
it's as if the entertainment industry is perverted and corrupted. No, it isn't.
Hey,
so.
What's going on? That's a conspiracy theory that's played out, you know, hasn't it? Do you remember? You know, for me, just about the end of the world was when they nicked Rolf Harris. You know, for me, that was like that was my childhood was just ruined, and I just thought. But I mean, Jimmy Savile, who didn't know? Even as a kid, I thought he was a
creepy and weird, funny,
you know. But you know what I mean. When they got Rolf Harris, I was like, oh my god! And now they're all going down, aren't they? So I mean, some of the famous rappers that have been,
what's going on?
I don't know. I don't really know who they are, but then there's this one Bruce Springsteen, another song that's called Fire. Do you know
We're
that one?
talking
You know
about a fire in his underpants, basically, aren't we? We're not talking about a wildfire here, are we?
You
Or
guys remember this, right? I'm driving in my car. Yeah.
Go on.
I turn on the radio, you know. I'm pulling you close. What does she say next? What does she say next?
Get off.
You just say no. You say you don't like it. But girl, I know you're a liar. You're lying. You say no. You're lying. Okay. So, you can't go over that anymore.
Thanks for destroying our childhood there, Tony Bryant, the Portugeeza. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
I could make it worse. What about Dance Hall Days by Wang Chung?
By who?
Do you not remember that?
I do. I just wanted to hear you say it again. I just wanted to hear you say it again.
By Wang Chung.
Wang Chung.
Hey, listen, last one. I'm just going to ruin it for everyone now.
Thank you. That's great work so far. He's only a few minutes in and he's destroying our childhoods.
Because I never thought about the verses in that song. I thought that in fact, you know that part, the cool bit. But
days.
But what about this? What about this?
Take your baby by the hand.
Take your baby by the hand. That's fine. But then in the second verse, it's take your baby by the hair.
Oh dear! I think these people
by the hair. Hang on a second. I need to. I can't sing.
But that rhymes with
I can't sing, but for some reason I feel.
Do a dance. Oh days.
Take your baby by the hair. Okay.
Yeah.
Pull her close and there. Right, next part. You ready? You ready for this?
No, I don't think I want to hear it.
Take your baby by the ears.
No.
And play upon her darkest fears.
Well, these people should be called to account. I think they immortalized themselves in the 80s with these tunes, and they should be invited into the public sphere to talk about it and explain themselves.
Take them into the public sphere.
Take them
those babies by the ears.
Yeah, the guys from Wang Chung should fear. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, I don't know where we go after that. Quite frankly, it's not unusual though, is it?
Well, where we go now is motorcycling. Have you seen that big yellow thing in the sky, Carl?
Just having a look now. No, there seems to be all sorts of stuff sprayed over the sky over here that's stopping my view of it.
Yeah. Do you know, I had a discussion with my friend about this the other day. I say
we've hit the ground running this morning, Portuguese.
Whether you listen, I'm pretty sure anyone watching or listening they're going to fall into three camps. They're going to be the I don't know, the I think they're spraying us with chemicals, or it's all a conspiracy theory. But wherever you land on this, why can't we just have a blue sky?
Right. I mean, it's not.
What happened to that?
Yeah.
What happened on a sunny day, just looking up and seeing a blue sky?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what's happening. The sky is spoiled every day, I think, by
I mean, we had going back to our childhoods again, we had perverts in leather smelling of patchouli oil singing disgusting lyrics on the one hand, but we did at least have blue skies, didn't we?
We did have blue skies, yeah.
I think we did anyway.
Well, occasionally. I mean, we were in England, weren't we, in those days?
Yes, I remember that day. Hardest part of working out is getting out of the front door. There's quite a lot going on in the chat this morning, and I've suggested we might talk about Bidets, potholes, and digital keys.
I'm just going to say to the global nobles, what you need is a partner. If you, because that is the hardest part of working out, but you definitely need to team up with a partner if you're going to go.
I'm liking the way this is going. So you're going to deal with every one of these comments here, aren't you? With your pithy wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. Used to take
pissy wisdom. What's that?
Pithy. Used to take. That reminds me of Toya from the 80s. Did she have a song called Pithy Wisdom? Don't think she did. Used to take hours for me to get out the door, says Greg. Although you've got the answer there. The Portuguese has spoken. Yesterday, the mayor's husband taught us how to truffle hunt. Now, is that a euphemism, I wonder? Just a fantastic. I mean, Jimmy Savile used to say things like that. Just fantastic. And what a day to go hunting there. So what do you say about truffles and truffle hunting, Portugeeza?
I don't know. It's someone. Don't they normally use pigs to hunt for truffles?
I thought so, yeah. And now the mayor is using peat.
This sounds a little bit. Yeah. This sounds a little bit like giving a friend a Weight Watchers voucher.
It does. Oh, it's vegan truffle hunting, so that
come truffle hunting with us, old friend. You could be the pig
on your knees.
Yeah. And look at my truffle.
It's like it's that truffle hunting trip that turned into Deliverance. Anyway, let's not go there. I always prefer the Beatles. You're such a bad influence. I always prefer the Beatles' birthday song to any other. What is the Beatles' birthday song then, Tony? You and your guitar. Do we know what that is?
Oh, I don't know. No.
And when I see the Beatles and na na na, I'm thinking na 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 na.
All right.
So
Well, me being an 80s kid, I hear na 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 na. Hey,
goodbye. Yes.
Yeah.
How awful that was to go from the Beatles to Bananarama. Sorry, everybody. Don't want to scare you, but an itch at the bottom of a left foot means the trip won't end on a good note. So we've been hearing about idioms and superstitions. If you've got an itchy right foot, because I read that if you've got an itch at the bottom and then full stop, it's an itch at the bottom of the left foot.
I can think of worse places to have an itch, that's for sure.
Yep. Okay. Food 9 days old sounds like airplane food. That was peas porridge. We've had so much fun waiting for you to arrive this morning. 9 days old peas porridge in the pot. Bondi, all you lovely GuMPers. What a glorious day. Viv is feeling it up there in the north. And that is not a euphemism. Sent pictures from riding the Marginal on Saturday. Oh, excellent. Along with a few thousand of our most intimate friends. It was great, followed by the Dolphins concert. That's when they shut down the Marginal. Got rid of the cars and people were just walking and cycling around. A vision of the future, perhaps. My favourite pattern, Paisley. We were showing a lovely picture of Philomena before the Carnation Revolution. Look at her. That is Tia Philomena in her Paisley dress at around, 1973, perhaps there. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much.
She's 25 in that picture.
She looks quite grown up, that's for sure. Interesting difference between Corsica and Sardinia. They are complete opposites. Oh, that's going back to the showering, which might lead us nicely into the bidet business that you have been speaking of on video. Yeah, the bidet thing does. Oh, have I deleted that already? Sorry. Okay, we're talking about how Portuguese people like a shower first thing in the morning. There you go. Corsica and Sardinia are different according to the map there. So yes, they are, aren't they? Look at that. Why is that? Why is there such a stark contrast of well-showered and non-showered people in that part of Italy, in the Italian islands there? Okay. And we're going to come to that big question in just a moment and obviously cause some sort of stereotypical diplomatic outrage as well. Rui Correa, I think, attracted by your sense of mischief this morning, Portugeeza. But should we start with bidets then? Why? What made you do a video about bidets? Is it because you're confronted by so many being here in Portugal?
Oh, my bidet video. All right.
Yeah, you forgot about
that. I hadn't really forgotten about it. No, what happened was I follow a YouTuber who anyone who's interested in Spain should check out. He's called Expat. See, I'm what's it called when you give credit? Giving credit.
Acknowledging.
I'm giving credit for the idea in a way. Expat in Mataron. They pronounce it like Mataron, don't they? He's a funny guy. He's an English guy. Him and his wife. They live in a expat community near.
That's good material for starters, isn't it?
Bloody hell! Where do they live? Somewhere on the Costa Blanca.
Let's say Spain. Let's go with Spain.
Yeah. And he's one of those guys. They're a retired couple, and they're just living it. You know what I mean? They've gone there. They've bought this little bungalow, and whenever you see a video of him, he's just him and his wife are just sat at the balcony, him with a glass of beer and her with a glass of wine.
Nice.
And they just live in it. And somehow or other, he's managed to get this gig where he just goes around filming.
Bidets.
It's for one of the local estate agencies. So he kind of they've got him. He just goes around and makes a video going, yeah, look, here's the first bedroom, here's the second bedroom. And then he always calls it the old foot washer whenever he goes to the bathroom. He says it's the old foot washer. Yeah. And I always thought that's it's funny. So I decided to make a video about it. And yeah.
Okay. Well, bidets are so old-fashioned, says Pete. Japanese toilets are so much better. Targeted, zapped with warm water, dried, and even music and lights. Yeah, I mean, that would make an interesting contrast to go into a lavatory and see both.
What do people think of this? I first had this conversation. This is many, many years ago when I was backpacking around the old world. And I was on an island called Koh Chang, which is in the Gulf of Thailand. And we were staying in these kind of beach hut. It was very, very rustic, very, very rustic. And of course, there was no toilet paper. And what it was is in those days when you were backpacking, something you'd have in your backpack was toilet paper, right? And I remember remarking to one of the Thai guys, of course, there's no toilet there's no toilet paper. And he said what they do there usually is they just go in the sea. And I was like a bit shocked. And he said, you got to understand, we think that you guys are really like for us, we think Farang are very, foreigners. Yeah. We think Farang are very, very dirty. And I said, well, how's that? He said, okay. And I'll never forget it the way he said it. He said, if you fell over and you got some poo on your arm, would you be happy to wipe it off with paper?
Good point. I have heard Portuguese people making the same point who are staunch advocates of the bidet.
Would you be happy? Would you consider it clean to wipe that off with paper, or would you want to wash it?
Well, apologies to anyone having their breakfast right now, but I guess we could warn you that we'd be talking about bidets. But what an interesting point to be made there. It's very interesting how you can be attached to your own cultural point of view, isn't it? And then have your eyes opened in that way. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely... I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do a real video about how to use the bidet.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet. I thought that's what you were doing.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Okay,
that's a spoiler. You'll have to blank that. You'll have to blank that bit out. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So there you go. You've got to the bidet video to look forward to over at the Portugeeza channel on YouTube. And potholes. I thought only Brits complained about potholes. You're complaining about potholes here. You've had a bit of damage to your motor.
Well, I'm a Brit.
Yeah, but about potholes in Britain, not potholes here.
Oh, they're worse here.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're expecting on a country lane, aren't you?
Listen to me. I'm going to drop a video later, and I'm going to listen. Seriously,
I am listening.
Later today, or tomorrow at the latest, I'm going to drop a video, and I'm going to show you guys. Because I know what you're talking about. I made a video the other day about potholes, right?
Yeah,
and it was just one of them. All it was is I was on my way to get my wheels aligned for like the second time in about a year because of you've just been driving along, and I don't drive particularly fast or anything like that, and it just suddenly it's just bang, and one of the tires will need pumping up, and then suddenly your car just wants to turn right all the time, and they're really bad. To be honest, I'm not going to say they're worse here than England, but I don't think they're any better. I don't think they're any better. But what happens here, and that I find different to the UK, maybe it's the same. They patch them, but the patching is not good enough quality. So after a few months, especially with the rain, the pothole is just simply back. And what it was because I was just driving on my way. It was just one of those off the cuff videos. I didn't really show in the video some of the really bad ones. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, because look, I'm going to show you the worst road in Europe. I'm going to show you guys, and I promise you, no one will argue with me. Nobody will argue with me.
Oh, what nonsense!
The worst road in Europe.
Right. Okay. So nobody's going to argue with the Portugeeza. That's something you don't expect to hear. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. No. That is a stupid statement.
It is. Come on. Right. Okay. It's some great chat. People are responding to your comments about 80s music, and it's the dark side of 80s music. I think there are some references to Rolf Harris as well. And the Portugeeza is here today, says Roy. Mate, we have a Hayabusa Giger to resuscitate next September and a ride out to arrange.
Yeah, come on. Bring it. Yeah.
What is he talking about? What is a Hayabusa?
It's a motorcycle. Okay. Yeah. Right. It's a very fast motorcycle. It's a ridiculous motorcycle, actually.
Okay. Are you guys fellow riders then? Do you like to dress up in leather and go out together? As it were.
Yeah, I kind of. The funny thing is, I have to get some new gear actually, because I had a. Do you know, Carl, that in Portugal you can ride 125cc motorcycles on your car license without taking?
No, I didn't, but I'm not surprised to hear that. That's great.
Well, when I started like that, and then I did my big boys motorcycle license, as they call it, nothing. Believe me, I've got nothing against some people who ride big motorcycles are really critical of people who ride small ones, and I'm not at all. I think everyone do what they want, and also it's quite expensive to do the A category. You know what I mean? So but my 125 was a what's the style? Cafe Racer. Was it Cafe Racer? You know what I mean by Cafe Racer, right?
I do not know what you mean. I don't know anything about bikes whatsoever. I've been on a moped once, so I don't know what
it's a style of bike that was very famous in London in like the 60s. And there's a whole kind of image that goes around it. So I bought
like a moped, like a Lambretta, or is it that?
They're a proper motorbike, but they could be mopeds, but there's a motorcycle. Google Cafe Racer.
You're going down memory lane again here, aren't you?
But the thing is, I did the whole cosplay thing. I bought the Cafe Racer jacket, the Cafe Racer helmet, the boots, everything, right?
Yeah.
And then when I got my A, of course, I went out and got a sports bike. So now my look doesn't match the bike, which is quite.
Oh, funny. And do other bikers point at you and laugh? Is that what's going on?
They probably don't,
right?
But in my mind, I think they do. Do you know what I mean?
I can well believe it. Yeah. I mean, I imagine it's quite a sort of the peer group pressure is quite intense.
It's a mismatch of looks. That's for sure.
So you've got to upgrade.
I've got a very 80s aesthetic motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then I've got a very 60s aesthetic outfit
I
to go with it.
I mean, it sounds almost like you're riding on a great big, dirty bike wearing a mohair suit, like a mod.
It's not quite like that, but it's not very far away, to be honest. Yeah, okay. It's very mismatched. Very cool. Lots of people, I hope, will try to imitate my style.
Yes, I think I've heard that people are doing that already.
I'm a trailblazer.
I want to go to Portugal and live like the Portugeeza, I hear them say. It is because in Europe, you aren't allowed to use high fructose syrup in your Mackie D's chemical sticks, chips, in other words, or French fries, as you call them, says Pete. McDonald's here in the States is horrible, says Pinky. It used to be much better when I was a kid. Now blue skies and good McDonald's. Those were the days. My question is put in a funny way. But it's 100% real. I need advice. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, to mingle and not make waves. So Rui, the Portuguese man, is going to Washington, D.C. and needs some help from some of the Americans here. Avoid dressed in your MAGA cap. You might want to avoid city centers, especially at night, or maybe just anywhere. I don't know. Viv says to Rui, don't do either of the things you were questioning about, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of have a feeling that both of those people you're describing are not. It's like what's that saying? They say the squeakiest wheel gets the oil, right? And sometimes I think that on social media, the squeakiest wheels get all the attention. Yeah. So I've got a feeling that if you go to
Tony.
But you know what I mean? I've got a feeling that if you go to America, the rainbow people and the MAGA people are kind of like two extremes of a kind of most American people I know, I don't know if they're
exactly.
I don't know about that. I don't know what their views are on those things.
Yeah, so it's like imagining that when you come to Portugal, people eat pastel de natas and eat and drink all day long and have fun.
Normally they're just miserable, out in the fields with an enchada, getting eaten by javelies.
Right. If you watch the Portugeeza channel, on my channel, 300 Days of Sunshine, always eating pastel de natas and having a great time with the local food and drink. Never wear this. So, advice for you, never wear either gang's colors unless you actually belong. It will always get you in deep trouble. You see, you ask, and you're being served here. Are you serious, rather than not? I'll be on holiday. I'd like to see as much as possible, ideally until midnight every day maximum. Don't walk the streets at midnight in certain parts of town. That's true anywhere you go, right? I thought it was when most Portuguese people just started going out at midnight. That's right. Don't transfer that.
Yeah, don't do that. Right. Yeah, all the good people are in bed by about 7:30 in America. After that, it's just all the Crips and the Bloods and the rappers.
Exactly,
and the alphabet people. They'll be out to get you at night.
If you don't want to, I don't think this is helping Rui very much so far. If you don't want to stand out and risk strong emotional reactions to your clothing, don't do either of those. It's a bit like when Portuguese goes out on his bike here Wear neutral, non-message clothing. Apart from brands are all right.
But if you don't want to risk strong emotional reactions, you probably go to the wrong country. But that's
right.
Maybe I'll stop it.
Poor choice of words here, Roy. Please shoot. Please do give ideas and things to see in Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas. I can drive further out and travel around. So keep those suggestions coming. The sad truth about violent crime is much more common in the US than Europe, etc. Your danger radar has to be switched on maximum if alone at night in downtown areas. Good practical advice coming in now. People are starting to be sensible. That won't last long. Well, I'm a rookie in the USA. Indeed, I've only been to Miami for a few days between other flights and nowhere else in the US. Look at him. First time in the US by the sound of it, in a serious touristic way. I'm not in my 20s or 30s. No need to learn about the B side of life at night these days. The B side of life. That sounds like an 80s album, doesn't it? Tom doesn't like cobblestones. That's one of my favorite things. Brown paper packages and calçadas. These are a few of his favorite things.
One of my neighbors is 80 years old, but and you know when you say 80, you might have a certain image. But this is a woman who chops her own wood, and she tends her own little bit of farm.
Legend.
But a couple of months ago, slipped over on the cobbles, broke her hip, didn't she?
Oh no!
Game over. You know what I mean?
She's hard to recover from that at that age.
She's just in hospital now for the duration. So that I'm in two minds about the cobblestones. I think they're very, very beautiful, but I can see how they could be a struggle. I mean, as a motorcyclist as well, it's quite horrible. Anyone will tell you, especially if it's a little bit wet. If you're riding along and then suddenly you come onto some cobblestones, it's like
really
ease off and let yourself slow right down because it's like ice. It's like ice. Yeah.
There's something. We've got some lovely tips coming in for you, Roy. But there's something I need to ask you about bikes. Now, I was walking the dogs late last night, and in the distance, I could hear and this went on for about 5 minutes. This is somebody I can hear in Nazaré coming along the road. Yeah. They drive through San Martino de Porto on the way to Caldas. And like 15 minutes later, and in the distance, I'm still hearing. Yeah. Why do people do that? It's not necessary, is it?
Are you throwing that out to the world?
No, you, Tony.
You're
the biker here.
Well, no. Was it a little old Portuguese guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look, I made a short about this.
Okay.
I don't know if I can share it with you. Hang on. Can I share it with you?
Yeah, let's try.
Hang on a second. Let's. How do I do that in the private chat here?
You can press present if you've got the file. You can actually present it on the screen. We must do more of this in the future.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
Are you sending me a YouTube link or the actual file?
Let me just close all my porn tabs.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great. There you were strumming with Bruce earlier on. Okay.
I don't know how to do it. What do? I press present. Okay.
Well, just tell us about your video.
I thought that was present. I thought that if I press that, you'd give me something nice, maybe some blue M&Ms.
It doesn't work like that.
Right, let me do it. Present.
Okay. He's going for it. I'm going to read out some more comments while you're prepping that.
The video share screen. Oh my god.
And then I have to give you permission just in case something unsavory is going to be flashed before my audience.
Right, this is the little.
There he goes. There he is.
Is this the one there?
Yeah, but we're not getting any sound.
Yeah, I know. This is it.
That's the guy. He was in my town last night. Yes, that's him.
Right now, why I took the video of this is because they're very old two-strokes. What's funny is when you hear this amount of noise, you think someone's going to come barreling past you at 100 miles an hour.
Yes, that's what happened last night.
Yeah, but there's all that revving and literally no output, right?
And I could have walked faster with my two dogs, and he was going on his bike.
But look where this guy is. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm hours away from civilization here. I couldn't believe it.
It took him 27 days to get there from GuMPer.
At the top of this hill is a church, and that's it.
That's where he's going to church. Okay. All right. So that is what we're hearing. Two-stroke engines.
Two-stroke and very old. There was I really do want to make a video about it at some time, but apparently Portugal used to have a motorcycle and car industry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the motorcycles, but you do see them around. A lot of these old two-strokes. Anyone who's any Portuguese guys who are in the chat, let us know what the brand is.
Rui will know about that. Yes, Portuguese, who says everybody had humble beginnings. The 125s, the cafe racers in Portugal back in the day as kids, we used to race DT50s, Yamahas.
What's the Portuguese brand? The two-strokes. I mean, they must be good bikes because they're everywhere. And they must be 40, 50 years old, these things. So, I mean, they must be good bikes. So,
right, Tony, we've got lots to get through. There's been an amazing response to your controversies this morning. All the Smithsonian museums are fabulous. This is for you, Rui, when you are in Washington, D.C. The restaurants are great, and you aren't far from Chesapeake Bay. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? Avoid Baltimore if possible, and go to Annapolis there from Viv. Thanks, Viv. Jeans and T-shirts are fine. I'll wear blank ones. I'm looking for info on different areas somehow. I think I might feel more comfortable in rural Virginia, but the missus is all about city breaks. And the bike share bikes in Washington, D.C. are really good. That's from Sarah to you, Roy. You can pay $8 and ride all day. The first 30 minutes are free. Just switch bikes about 25 minutes.
Oh, Sarah Yeoman, straight in there with the hack.
There's a DC hack right there. Yep, a Portugeeza. Really clearly pleased to see you. You're entitled to some compensation if Rolf Harris ruined your childhood, Portugeeza. And I'm glad to hear Jim didn't fix it for you. Not even that offer to milk a cow blindfolded, which is one of his top tricks, I think. No, don't ruin dance hall days. I think Hey Little Girl is a bit sus.
Yeah.
The more you listen,
the
worse it gets. Yep.
Hey, little girl.
I mean, that was with a title like that. Let's not be exactly surprised about that.
And it's another one. He kind of goes into that Elvis script when everything goes wrong. You know what I mean?
You got to wobble your head as a.
Yeah, I was never a Lost Prophets fan, and I'm glad. That must have been devastating. Oh my god.
Okay. Hey, little girl, where will you hide? Who can you run to now? Hey, little girl, who can you turn to now? Unbelievable.
Daddy,
I mean, if they're still breathing, call them out of retirement, ask them to account, and let's have a conversation about it. At least they can say, yeah, it was inappropriate, and I'm really embarrassed about that. And this is how we should be behaving as men, and this is what I would recommend to young men. I mean, why can't they do that? Am I being too naive there, Portugeeza?
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying what he said is how we should behave as men. I'm saying he should give new advice to young men and say that is not right or honourable or gentlemanly. What you need to really do is this.
So instead of like, hey, little girl, something like, hey, powerful woman.
Yeah, good start.
I'm
with your permission.
I'm guessing that you probably live alone because you don't need anybody.
Now you're going to the other.
I'm trying to make it right.
No, your pendulum is swinging the other way now.
Don't you talk about my pendulum when we're on here.
You're about to kill rock and roll as well, single-handed. I agree. I mean, there needs to be a frisson of sexual tension. I mean, that's part of what's going on there.
Yeah.
But that's not incompatible with good manners, is it?
Well, it's different days, wasn't it? It's different days.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not an excuse, is it? I mean, we can't have that as an excuse. It happened. These terrible things happen in history. What shall we do now? Let's have the conversation, right? That's the smart thing to do with history, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. You're asking me to say.
Yeah, I am. I'm asking you. I agree. I agree. Read the skies. There's another depth charge that you set off on arrival. I agree. Read the skies. We have beautiful, big, fluffy clouds in our area of Portugal. I hadn't seen clouds like these in the UK for a couple of decades. By Randy,
do you know? I remember again. I was just saying this. Just speaking with a friend yesterday. I caught up with my English friend that lives in Nazaré. And I was saying this to him. This is where I got started, and then we went off on some segue. Probably my fault.
It's a bit like this morning, really.
There was I used to live in Wickham. You know High Wycombe?
Yes.
In England, right? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was shot around there for anyone who can. So you can imagine the scene. And
let's sing that as well, shall we?
In spring, there was West Wickham Hill, below the Hellfire Caves, you know. And so sometimes in spring,
what image you're creating?
On a sunny day, we'd all go up there. This is, we were young people in our 20s, you know what I mean? So I'm only talking
100 years ago.
Yeah, I'm probably talking like 30 years ago now. But anyway, we go up there on a sunny day and just lay on our backs, and you'd watch the fluffy clouds, the kind of, you go, look, can you see that? That one looks like an elephant, or that one looks like a tiger.
Yep.
Can you imagine doing that now?
Well, that's what we had. That was our internet. That was our internet, wasn't it?
But I mean, it's just cross hatching. You can't. There's no puffy clouds anymore. No puffy clouds.
Right. What happened?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just leave that hanging there like your pendulum. I highly recommend the C&O Canal Trail. 296.9 kilometers long. You can hike or ride the thing on either a horse or a bicycle. Right, you're going to have so much fun, you and Mrs. C there. Or just check out the bit closest to DC. It's wonderful. Thank you, says Roy.
Remember in America, it's horseback riding, okay? So you got to be very careful. I don't know why they have to be so specific.
What? So are you suggesting if you go into a tourist office,
you have to make sure to be very. If you want to hire a horse, you have to tell them it's horseback riding. You don't know about this in American English?
No. Why? Is this a distinction with bareback or something other?
Well, in English we go horse riding, and everybody knows that we mean we're going to sit on its back.
Yes.
You don't know the American.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
the Americans call it horseback riding. It's the same as glasses. Yeah. In England, if we say glasses, you know that you wear them here.
Yeah.
So the Americans call them eyeglasses, don't they?
In case what? So they're not just
so they don't accidentally put them over their mouth
glasses,
over their
or
nose,
bum glasses, for example. But that's another different thing. That's like spectacles for tramps, bum glasses, isn't it, in America?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Billionaires and Drugs Naught. Thanks for the hints and tips. Seriously, some bits in there that I didn't know and I didn't think about. So there you go. Value for Rui this morning. Bidets. Are you talking about the butt wash of Portugal? That I'd never thought of San Martinho de Porto being the biggest bidet in the world. It kind of is. Isn't it?
Yeah,
I prefer to think of it as a scallop bay or a horseshoe bay rather than Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at
it's a tradition. It's a tradition there to do a poo in the bay, isn't it?
Please do not be. No. You mustn't say that because I do not want that alongside my 300 Days of Sunshine recommendations. Carl, as a kid in Belfast, there we go. We would lie on our backs, make images out of the clouds with a blue background. We had weeks of, that was our internet. We had weeks of snow. Now we get warm snow, rain. Bring back my childhood.
I've always been a bit suspicious of warm snow. I have to be honest. What color was it? Was it yellow?
What color was that snow, Deagle? And we need the big, the 80s complaints book, don't we? We have quite a few to put in there in the Livro de Reclamações of the 80s this morning. Eritrean, Ethiopian food in DC is just terrific. Don't miss it. You've got so much to do there. Bidets are great to wash your feet in, pedicure and shave your legs in, and as an easy place for toddlers to pee in. See, it's like a Swiss Army knife of the bathroom. It's a step up from a potty and a step down from a toilet. That's like a poem. It's like a Pam's poem, an ode to the bidet. My curiosity, is the Portugeeza a Brit? Yeah, because his accent does go all over the place, doesn't it? I mean, he actually gave credit to someone, so he can't be British completely. Yeah, Brits don't do that. They take credit from others. They don't give credit.
we're a bunch of thieves, aren't we? We're a bunch of thieves. I saw a meme the other day, and it was the Natural History Museum, I think it was. If they gave all the stolen stuff back and it was just a big empty warehouse.
Yes,
which I thought was quite funny,
also known as a British supermarket. Doing the Portuguese slalom, avoiding the potholes of Manor. That's the Portuguese slalom. Fantastic. I think I recognize Portugeeza. Was he a scout on a roller coaster in Jimmo? Great motorbiking country. Boas Caravash here. Morning to you, Cordelia. Thanks for joining us. Depending on where you came into the conversation, you may have been quite shocked and offended. It's not me. It's Rui and Portuguese doing that this morning. Snack foods, Erica, morning to you. And fast food are so much better in Portugal.
Speaking about the 125, so like what I do, my friend who lives in Nazaré, right? Paul, he's another English teacher who I know from Hong Kong, another Brexit refugee. We get quickly slipped. Just before Brexit, everybody just slipped into the EU, didn't they? Just and that's
some
what
of us did. Some of us
did. He's got a 125cc. I think it's a Honda CBF or something like that. But what we do when it's a sunny day, and if we both got time, we pick a point of interest that's between where I live and Nazaré. So both of us are about an hour ride away. So yesterday we went to Pombal Castle.
Yes, and you made a video. You don't mess about.
Yeah. So everything is content, Carl. You know.
That's right. That's what I say to Mrs. M. My kids are sick of it.
Everything's content. Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I said to Paul when I wrote, I said, "Do you mind if I make a video?" He said, "Oh, go on."
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And then I finished the video and I said, "Right, see you next time. Bye."
Now he's coming out of the toilet, zipping up, and you're like, "Oh, please turn it off! I'm just trying to have a pee in peace." The local.
But this is such a nice thing to do. So we both get a quick ride out, and then we'll meet. And believe me, you don't run out of places of interest in Portugal. That's one of the absolutely fantastic things. There's just no end to castles and museums and interesting streets and murals, and I don't know. It just goes on and on and on. Waterfalls, river beaches.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
And so for us, finding somewhere interesting between just in that space, which is a small part of Portugal, it's not a problem at all. So then what we do is we'll ride at, say, Pombal Castle, had a look around the castle, then we had a quick ride to a cafe and had a toasty and a coffee.
There's a nice little cafe up top of Pombal Castle, isn't there? Am I thinking of Pombal or am I thinking of a different town? I'm thinking of Arang, I think. Arang Castle, that's also good to go to.
The problem is, and I'm not exaggerating, guys, for any of you who are watching who are not in Portugal yet, I guarantee you in a lifetime you couldn't see all the castles.
No.
You just couldn't. I mean, unless you like really got into it and went sort of every day, but you know, in a normal lifetime, you won't see them all. You won't see them all, and they're all amazing.
Lucky? We are absolutely lucky. Never mind about Washington DC. Although lots of great. I mean, Rui, you're gonna have to watch the comments again. You're gonna have to rewatch the show because I can't get through all of this.
Vivian, you'll never look at it again and not think Bidet though. That's the thing.
Well, this is what I'm most upset about today with your arrival here and your inclusion in the show. And I don't want to. Yes, let's change the subject.
Sorry.
Okay. We used to race them as well or end up crashing in someone's backyard. Old brands, Zundap and Famel. The Famel was made in Portugal, almost went bust, probably rescued like TAP by the government, perhaps. The fusion of sexual power or version, if she means fusion, presumably, unless I don't know what version is, of sexual power in songs is okay if of legal age, but hey, little girl is icky. Yes, well said. And lots of points of interest on the GuMPer map. Maybe you could put those on there for us as well, Portugeeza. Agreed. Too many songs about little sisters, little girls, little one. Yeah. My dad didn't want me to write. Are you going to sing us out today? Can you do that?
I can do if you want.
All right. Yes, I do want that.
She's just 16 years old.
No, hold on, not yet.
Okay.
Bronc riding versus horseback riding in the States. That is the distinction that you weren't immediately aware of, and you think it's a funny thing, and it can be explained immediately by Erica there. And yet, if everybody could rinse their minds of this idea that San Martino Bay looks like a bidet, that would be awesome.
Where should they rinse their minds, though? In the bidet?
In the big bidet of life.
In the big bidet of San Martino de
Bidet de Marquesas there. Are you born in the 80s or growing up in the 80s? If something goes wrong, I say to him, it's all content. Oh, those weren't connected, those comments. But there you go. And when I bought my first small bike with my own money from summer jobs under my dad's threats to destroy it, he later informed, looked at mine and said, oh, and he bought one too. That's bonding between man and boy. That brings us towards the end of the show. Whereupon Portugeeza will sing us out this morning.
I'm just trying to think of a rhyme about bonding between man and boy, but we've got to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I'm father and son. All right. Can you do the Cat Stevens classic, father and son?
I don't know the chorus
your
for that.
fault.
I'm still stuck on that. Take your baby by the hair.
No. Can we end on please, can we end on a
Pull
savory
her closer there.
Come on,
Well,
do one of your favorites.
where am I?
Look, could you know the twisty roads of Bomberal? You hum it, I'll play it.
Oh God, I can't think of it. You put me on the spot now. What's the song that
Look, let's cut to the chase, Portugeeza. Why are you guitarists like this? I say, amazing, do you want to play a song? And every guitarist goes, oh no, I'm a bit rusty. No, I can't do that. Say, oh,
now, do you know the problem is the songs that come to mind are always the ones that you know nobody wants to hear. Like
For example, what like? What like?
Like the forbidden songs, you know, the
Yes! Come on, put your hands in the air. It's gonna be the day that I'm gonna give it back to you.
It's a forbidden song. You know
Yeah,
that?
all right.
You're not allowed to play that song ever.
Right.
Because every guitarist plays London. And then
or Streets of London. Well, just and you know what? Let's go back to the days of when we were laid on a hill looking at a blue sky and fluffy clouds before the internet. And can you maybe play Kumbaya for us? And that will just get us back into it, reset our nervous systems.
Well, let me play something like if we're going to go. Was this an 80s song or a 90s song? She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah, that's 90s, but let's go with it.
Sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where
I said, yeah.
I taught her. She told me that her dad was slow there. I said, in that case, I'll have a Robert College. She said, fine.
That's right.
And in 30 seconds time, she said, wanna live like common people.
I wanna be with
common people do. Wanna sleep with common people. Wanna sleep with common people like Carl. What else could I do? I said, I'll see what I can do. I took it to the supermarket. Don't know why, but I had to start it.
I said, yeah. Yes!
So it started there. It's easy because I really have
Legend.
What's the next part? And the chorus?
I wanna live like common people. I wanna do what common people do.
Wanna sleep with common people.
Not using
Wanna
Bidets.
sleep with common people like Carl.
What rhymes with Carl?
What rhymes with Carl? I can't think of anything.
Hey, forbidden songs.
I'm stuck.
No,
rent a flat to barber shop. Cut your hair and get a job. Smoke some. Hey, we can't say that word anymore. Smoke some cigarettes.
Yes, very
and
good.
Play some pool. Pretend you never went to school. So you'll never get it right. Once you're laying in bed at night, watching roaches climb the wall. If you called your daddy, stop it all and never live like common people. Never do whatever common people do. Never feel like common people. Never watch your life slide out of view. And then what do? We dance and drink and screwing.
Oh, yes. A big finish. The Portugeeza. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with Philomena. Ciao, ciao. Let's go.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,
Ciao, ciao.
Good job,
Ciao,
babe.
ciao.
Thank you very much.
Ciao,
And bye for
ciao,
now.
ciao.